Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. The month of April, we have so many exciting new releases. I am ecstatic about it. Every time I think about these books coming out, I just get so excited. That's the best adjective I can use and can come up with. Some of my favorite authors are coming out with new releases in the month of April. As I'm filming this intro, none of them are out. I think by the time this video goes up, it's actually the end of April, so we'll already have these new releases out. Thought it would be fun for today's video to read a bunch of these new releases that are coming out this month. Some of my most anticipated reads probably of the year. First new release we're gonna read is by none other than Queen Elsie Silver. Her new book comes out called Wild Love. I'm going to her book signing April 9th at the Ripped Bodice. I am so excited about it. I'm so excited to meet her, so excited to get the physical copy of the book, and I just cannot wait. This new release, the cover, first and foremost, is so stunning, so beautiful, so perfect, so cute. I'm obsessed with the pink. I was very lucky enough to get the arc of it, so I am reading this at the end of March right now, so I've already seen a little bit of my thoughts in my March wrap-up. I'm gonna give really more in-depth thoughts and more in-depth feelings and everything on this book in this video, of course. If you have not heard of Wild Love, it is in the same world as the Chestnut Springs series. I'm obsessed with Chestnut Springs. If you don't think that you're gonna be into cowboy romances, read an Elsie Silver book. You have to just give it a chance, because I didn't think I was into cowboys. Elsie Silver has changed the game. I just am obsessed with her writing, so I'm so excited about this new release. I think it's gonna be part of its own kind of interconnected standalone series, just like Chestnut Springs and her first one, but it also takes place in the same world. Our main character, Ford, is the brother of a main character girl in the Chestnut Springs series, so that's really exciting. He is a billionaire. I think he owns like a recording something. He's in like the music world. Her other main character is Rosie. Her brother's best friend is Ford. So they've known each other for years at this point. They have not a little bit of a history, but from what I know, I've only read, I think I'm like 10% of the way in. I did start this morning, but they've known each other for a while. They've been through different parts of their lives together, and they haven't seen each other for a while. So Rosie comes home. She lives in the city, and she just came home to kind of refocus her life and see where she wants to go now, because something has happened that made her come home from the city to their small town. And of course, Ford sees her again, and that's where I'm at right now. That's kind of like the basis and the premise of the storyline. It's so refreshing being in an Elsie Silver book. I'm just obsessed with her writing style. She is just amazing. I am so excited about this one, and all of the ones that we're going to read this month, of course, but definitely very excited about this one. I haven't given any thoughts on this book yet, and I just hit 43% on the Kindle. It says on page 178, so I'm on chapter 20 right now, and it was so easy getting back into Elsie Silver's writing. Obviously, like I said, she's one of my favorite authors, and I just love her writing style so much. It just flows so well. There's so much dialogue, so much character and personality with each character, and she gets like kind of right into it, which I love so much. So far I'm enjoying it because I feel like it's more of like an emotional connection between the two of them. They have like I keep saying history, but like they've known each other for a while, and it's always been like not really a thing between them, but now she's back, and now they're a little older, like all this stuff. So I like how they have kind of like this emotional connection between each other, especially Ford. I feel like he really cares about Rosie, just because he's always seen her kind of as his best friend's little sister and stuff, so he's always wanted to protect her and care for her and all this stuff. But there's like another element to the story that I'm really liking that kind of like shows how they were back in the day. Like it's not like flashbacks to what used to be happening, but the way that Elsie's like throwing in what they were like not back in the day, but like 10 years ago. There's also another part of this book that Elsie threw in that I think it's on the summary of the book, but I don't want to say just in case it is a spoiler, but I really like that she threw this in because it's giving like almost comedic relief and like another subplot that I'm really enjoying. I think it's giving more of a character and more of like emotion and more depth to Ford as a character. And of course, she always has side characters that add a lot to the story, whether it's comedic relief or more, again, subplots and stuff. So I really like that. I'm not completely obsessed with Ford and Rosie just yet. I feel like we're not there yet in the storyline, but like I don't really know what's gonna happen in this story. I feel like there's not like a clear path. Like I don't really know our storyline here. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm interested to see what happens, because there's like other parts of this book that's going on that like needs to be resolved, I guess. So that's where I'm at right now. So hopefully this gets fixed real quick so we can get a move on, but I don't really have too much to say. I feel like I would have a lot more when I'm almost halfway through the book, but I just love Elsie Silver's writing, and that's all I have right now. up until last night, the book was really good. It still is obviously really good, and I was like really enjoying it. I love her writing style. It's going really fast paced. I'm really in the story, but up until last night, I didn't like love the main characters. Everything that was happening, like I was enjoying it, but I didn't really connect to them or like was like obsessed with them like I feel like I am with a lot of Elsie Silver's characters or like all of the other ones I've read. But I don't know what happened last night, like it just like clicked and I was like, wait, I'm obsessed with them. Like I love them a lot. I don't know what was happening. Like they'll be going back and forth and all of a sudden Ford will say something like in a serious manner and I'm like, oh, and something else happened and it was like just really sweet, and he really cares for her. Like the little things he does is like so sweet, and like this other element I was talking about yesterday, like that just adds a lot more to him and like to the story that I'm like loving. Really sweet. And I was kind of like confused. I was like, what's like the plot of this? Like I feel like there's no like problem really going on. I just feel like there's like little situations happening that they kind of have to like get over, like a little bump in the road and stuff. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the two of them right now, and I'm loving just their like little dialogue and their back and forth, and like it'll turn from like really snarky and like funny banter to like really sweet all of a sudden, and it's really cute. Ford is just like the sweetest man. Like why is he so sweet? And then Rosie's just, she knows how to push Ford's buttons, and I love it. There's also like funny emails that go back and forth between the two of them, because one of the little plots is when she comes back home she needs a job, so Ford hires her. Now he's like her boss kind of, and they like send emails back and forth. They like work across the room from each other at their desks. That part's really good. I'm 70% of the way through. I think there's just some things we gotta figure out now, but I'm really excited to see what happens. We did have a little cameo from someone in Chestnut Springs, and I was like so excited. It doesn't really have about 2 hours left in the book, and it's like early morning right now, so we'll see if I can finish it. Hopefully I can. Also, Elsie really knows how to write, like each character has such a personality, and like in their dialogue it really shows. Like she really knows how to do that and like make everyone so different, but like going back and forth with each other, it's like entertaining. Like right now Ford's dad and him and like mom, like that dynamic is really funny. Like all of their dialogue, I think she does like such a good job with dialogue. I love the dialogue she uses in her books. It's so good. Just finished Wild Love a little bit ago. Elsie Silver has done it again. She truly she knows what she's doing in these romance books. I'm obsessed with her writing. It truly just stands true. Every book I read, I need to go back and read her first series. I think I'm gonna save it for the summer. I'm so excited. Some new cowboy romances. They're not new. They're her first written series, but new to me, and I'm just so excited. So Ford and Rosie were like meant to be in like every lifetime. Like I'm obsessed with them. I think like the dynamic between the two is so good. Rosie's kind of the one that keeps him on his toes and kind of like sends the banter back and forth and is like always like saying like funny things and stuff, and then Ford will give it back to her, but then he'll say some sweet things, and he's just so caring and thoughtful, and I'm like obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with the both of them. I feel like Elsie Silver does a really great job of including like funny comedic things within the romance and the writing and the side characters, but also giving like more deeper thoughts and deeper feelings, especially like navigating a new relationship or like side characters and family dynamics and stuff. I feel like she does such a good job with it. It just feels really realistic too. In the beginning I was like not iffy on it, but I was like, okay, I need to like get into it. It's a new little setting in this world and new characters and all this stuff because I'm so used to Chestnut Springs, but she really hit the mark. I'm like, I love them. I think I'm gonna give it between like 4 or 4.25, which I don't really want to be too picky on it, but it was so good. I'm so excited. This video is starting off on a great note. It is time for our next new release read of the video. I feel like today is the perfect day to continue reading this book. I actually did start it last night. We have the perfect ambiance today. It's raining outside. Just cleaned my room. Have clean sheets on the bed, which if you don't know or have not seen any time I've talked about my sheets, they are always from Brooklinen. Brooklinen is a luxury sheets company creating high quality home goods to elevate your home. It's so important to invest in sheets that not only are going to last a long time and through frequent washes, but are going to get softer with each wash, which I can 100% attest to. I've been using Brooklinen for so long now. And April is an exciting month because they are celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So like I said, I've been using Brooklinen for years now. I've gone through so many different patterns and different types of sheets and just bedding from Brooklinen, and I've never changed. I've always been obsessed. I've always gone right back to Brooklinen. Their bedding is just such high quality. It literally feels like you're sleeping in a cloud. I get the best night's sleep in my Brooklinen sheets. I'm seriously obsessed with them if you have not already noticed. They also have such cute patterns and colors that you can mix and match, which I'll get into in a little bit. And with every season that changes, I feel like I'm always always changing my Brooklyn and sheets, you know, trying to match the season and the vibe of my room, which is my favorite part. I can just really mix and match, which I got new colors and new sheets for the spring season that I'm so excited about, because as soon as Brooklyn came out with these colors, I knew immediately I needed them and I needed them to be together and I could put them together. So I have Brooklyn's Luxe Hardcore Sheet Bundle. Instead of buying individual items, you can save 20% by purchasing a hardcore bundle. This includes a core sheet set, extra pillowcases, and a duvet cover. These Luxe sateen sheets are best-selling for a reason, and they're the ultimate bedding upgrade. They're perfect for elevating your sheet game. These sheets feature a luxurious 480 thread count and a slightly luminous finish. Clearly, I'm obsessed with my Brooklyn sheets. They are so high quality, but the color combo that I got that you just saw, the pink sheets and the pink pillowcases with the baby blue, light blue duvet cover is like everything to me. I think this little cotton candy combo is just so cute for the spring. So like I said about mixing and matching your Brooklyn sheets, you can shop from the comfort of your home. You go on the Brooklyn website and you can choose which bundle you want to get, and also go through the sheets, the pillowcases, the duvet, and choose what style you want for your own personal room. You can get creative with it and choose different colors and patterns for each item, or you can just do all white or whatever really, again, is personal to your room or what your vibe is. You can mix and match over 20 plus colors and patterns for the classic or luxe core sheet set, the extra pillowcases, and the duvet cover, like I said, and you can get creative with it, which is so much fun. Again, my pink and blue combo that I have right here is everything to me, and it's just so cute. So whether you've been a long time Brooklyn supporter or this is your first time hearing about them, this is the perfect time to head over to Brooklyn and take advantage of their 10-year anniversary sale. All items are 25% off site-wide and up to 45% off bundles through May 6th. It's their biggest sale of the year. You do not want to miss out. All of that information will be in the description. I highly recommend. I love my Brooklyn sheets. So now that we have some clean sheets, great reading weather, perfect ambiance, like I said, it's time to start. Actually, it's time to continue reading our next new release, and that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I have seen nothing but good reviews for this book, and I've just seen so many like just high ratings everywhere, just so much praise for this book, and I didn't doubt it. Like, I knew this was going to be a good read and one of probably my favorites for the year, but it is also one of my most anticipated, which obviously all the books in this video are probably my most anticipated for the year, at least for April. But I read all of Abby Jimenez's previous books that she's put out, and I've loved reading every single one. I think her writing style is just so easy to get into. If you're ever in a slump, highly recommend any of her books. It's just so fast paced. You get right into the story. The chemistry is always there. It's always just fun banter, but she always likes to throw in like a deeper sense into the story and like a deeper thing that the characters, or one character at least, goes through, which I really appreciate. I feel like it gives more of like a real life sense to it, if that makes any sense. So I did see her post a little reel of this one saying how people think they're just gonna get a fun little summer rom-com and end up crying or something like that. So I'm definitely interested to see if this makes me emotional or not. I got to page 107 last night. I'm on chapter 10 right now. It is dual point of view. It's basically about these two characters that have this kind of, feels like a curse on them, that every person they date, the next person their ex dates is their soulmate and the one that they spend the rest of their life with. So Emma sees this story on Reddit about his situation with this and ends up randomly DMing him, and then they strike up this kind of like thing where it's like, maybe if we date and break up, it'll cancel each other out and we'll go off to find our soulmates. So they have this kind of like deal going on. They're like, we'll go on these dates, we'll time it perfectly, we'll make it very on point to how our other relationships go, and when we break up, hopefully we'll find our one true love, our soulmates. So that's kind of the gist of it. Emma is a traveling nurse and she's now in the same state as Justin, and where I'm at right now, they just had their first date and they just met in real life. There are two elements to each character that I think is going to play a huge role in this, where Emma has a harder relationship with her mom and she comes back into the picture, and then also Justin is going to have to take custody over his 3 younger siblings. So those little elements between these two characters individually, I feel like are going to play a big part in the story and also within like their relationship and what's going on between them. I'm not too invested in our main characters like together or anything just yet, but right off the bat, I love the little meet cutes that Abby Jimenez does. I feel like she does it in every story, where I feel like with other romances, or a lot of romances that I read, it takes a little bit for our two main characters to kind of be in the same scene together. You kind of get a background on each character, then they start talking or something like that, but the majority of her stories, like right in that first chapter, they have their first interaction with each other, whether it's in person, over the phone, or whatever it is. It's like you get right into it. She throws you right into the story, which I really appreciate. And also she's very heavy on the dialogue, which I love so much. I love when there's a lot of dialogue between characters, and like I feel like that just like gives the story, makes it more fast paced. It makes me want to read it quicker. I'm just like really into it. Honestly, I started this last night and I didn't expect to read 100 pages that quick. I probably would have binged the rest of the book if I wasn't so tired. So there's a chance today I will finish the book. So we will see. cry over this right now. I have like happy tears coming out. I just got to chapter 26, page 217. I've read a bunch today. Once I start reading, I can't stop. So I took a little bit of a break until I knew I could sit and binge some of it, because I don't want to like take myself out of the story when I'm reading. This is a book where I feel like you need to just sit and binge it. Like I can't just take a few breaks between and get back into it. I feel like I just need to read the story in a few sittings. So that's what I'm trying to do. But at the beginning I wasn't like iffy on the relationship or anything. I just didn't really know how I would feel about like their chemistry and stuff. But once they finally met and like hung out a few times and like I got to know them more, I guess you could say, now I'm like really loving them. And I think it's because they have such a low stake situationship going on, where they just had this deal, we're gonna go on 4 dates, we're gonna kiss, we're gonna break up and go our separate ways within these few weeks. So it was still low stake, where they were kind of going into it and they didn't have any like hesitations about the relationship, because it wasn't supposed to go anywhere or like be anything. So once they started opening up to each other, I feel like they really connected on this emotional level, because they both have things going on within their family lives that are pretty heavy and things they still have to like go through and are going through. And this specific moment where they meet each other, they're both in very different parts of their lives and like dealing with different things, but they were able to connect on that and kind of help each other grow in an emotional sense. And I was like, I loved that. So like just all the scenes that they're in together and like the banter and just like the things that he's saying, like he's really like, I think it's definitely guy falls first, and I just love that. And all of this stuff is happening to him, like I said, like in this moment a lot is going on in his personal life. And I'm gonna give this really out of context, like no spoiler, but he said, I was in an uncomfortable hotel bed at a water park. Something happened with his mom, and I officially took custody of my 3 siblings, and I still smiled myself to sleep. Like Emma is just really helping him where I think he needed her, or needed someone like her in his life. And I think that for her, he's showing her different things about herself as well, like the dynamic between the two and like what they need in their life at this point. I think the both of them are giving to each other, which is just like so nice to read about. Also just like some moments are just really cute, and I'm really enjoying it. I knew I would. It's made me tear up. Sad tears, also happy tears, maybe giggle. I've had like audible out loud reactions to it, so that's always a good sign. This man is the definition of if he wanted to, he would. Justin is the definition of that. If Justin wanted to, he would, and he does. Every single time he shows, and he does. I can't. I just read the ending scene, Crying Like a Baby, and You Are in Love by Taylor Swift is playing. There is no more perfect song to play during the scene than that one. I had a lot of emotions while reading this, as you guys probably saw. Happy tears, sad tears, I'm laughing, but mostly like a lot of tears at the end of it, whether it's happy or sad. Like there was a lot being shed, which kind of showed me how emotionally connected and invested I am with these two characters. And Abby Jimenez just strikes again. I think this is my favorite book of hers that she's come out with. In the beginning, I feel like in all of her books, she has this cute little meet cute, this cheesy meet cute that have banter and they're getting to know each other, and then all of a sudden you're at the end of the book and you've gone through so much with them, you've learned so much about them, it gets so much deeper, and she throws in always this like little element that like gives more to it, that's not just like a cutesy rom-com. And all of a sudden you're at the end of the book and you're like, I don't even remember who we were in the beginning. Like that meet cute was cute, but like we've gone through so much together, and I feel like that's exactly how I felt during this book. The ending and what happened towards the end made so much sense. Like, without spoiling it, it's not like a third act breakup where you're like annoyed and like we're just doing this for the plot and just to stay on track of like how romances I feel like are planned out. Everything that happened in this book made sense to grow and to figure things out, and it's kind of showing how your history and your childhood really shapes you and how you are grown up, and how I don't know, I just feel like she really combined the romance but also with other elements and like other plots that gave it a more deeper feel to it, which she's done in her other books, but I feel like this one much more felt kind of like realistic and real, and I really felt it and felt for these characters. And I just really appreciated the way that she portrayed love not being like these grand gestures and like showing each other your love with like huge things, but it's just like the small little things, and it's like small little ways you show each other that you love each other without even having to say it. It's just like really portrayed throughout this whole entire book. Our main character Justin is such a like I said, if he wanted to he would. He's golden retriever. He cares about people. Not one thing he did wrong, and I loved him. Emma too. I feel like I saw myself in her. She is a very big empath, and she really had to go through stuff in this book to get to where we were at the end of it, and I just really appreciated both of their stories together as a couple and individually, and I really enjoyed Abby's writing. Of course, she knows how to do it, and it's just like so fast paced. Once you're in it, you don't want to stop. Like if you want to binge a book and get out of a slump, highly recommend this one or any of Abby's books. And I think I said this in the beginning, but this is part of the Part of Your World, Yours Truly world, so you get cameos of the other ones, and the way it all connects, I just love the way she did it. I was like shook. I did not expect it, but yeah, I really loved this book. I think what I'm gonna sit on is a 4.75, which I know is really picky, but I didn't get the 5-star feeling where usually when I get 5 stars, like I immediately want to reread it, and I'm not gonna shut up about it, which maybe one day I would want to do it with this book, but I don't like have that feeling towards it, so I'm gonna be really picky and give it a 4.75. And I feel this way with other books I've given 4.75s, where it's like some days it's a 5-star, but other days it's like didn't get just there, you know, so it's really close. I can't really pinpoint exactly why it's not a 5-star, but I just know it's not a 5-star, if that makes any sense. So 4.75, I would recommend this to literally anyone, and yeah, I really had a great time reading this. I have my most anticipated release, I think all year. Like I have never been so excited for a book in my entire life. Why am I giddy over this book? I haven't even read it. If you're wondering what our next read is, It's Funny Story by Emily Henry. So I ran to Barnes this morning after my workout class and I grabbed this book immediately. I had ordered it from Amazon, but that's not going to be here till later tonight, so I had to get a copy earlier so I could start reading it immediately. Like I am so excited. A little update: since I finished Just for the Summer, I tried to read and start The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This is her new release from this year. It's in the same world as The Cheat Sheet, which I read a few years ago. I got like 50-ish pages into this and I just like have not been in the mood for it. I've been trying to read this for 3 days now and I don't know what's going on there, so I don't know what's happening with this book just yet. I will give updates if I end up reading or finishing it. I may have to put it off until I'm in the mood for it, because I feel like her writing is very cheesy and banter, but also kind of predictable in a way. It's that kind of like rom-com-y sense, so I haven't been in the mood for this in a while, I guess, so I don't want to force myself to read it because I really do want to enjoy this book. I did enjoy Cheat Sheet because I read it at the perfect time. Like I needed a rom-com-y cheesy book like that, so that's my update on this. I did end up starting this, but didn't get very far. It's been a while, so I may end up putting this down. We'll see. I feel like Emily Henry is probably going to throw in something a little bit deeper, make you feel a little bit more, because her last release, Happy Place, definitely had that. I feel like it's more of a feel to the romance, and that was like my last 5-star read from her. I'm wondering how this is going to rank on like my Emily Henry like ranking. It's Beach Read, Happy Place, Book Lovers, People Meet on Vacation, and I'm so curious to see like where this falls in. I don't think any of her books could ever top Beach Read, but listen, we're about to find out. If you don't know what this is about, it's basically our main character Daphne breaks up with her boyfriend, and one of her childhood best friends, I think, or one of her best friends, I'm not too sure who this girl is, ends up dating him, and then that girl's ex ends up being Daphne's roommate. So it's kind of like an ex swap going on, also like a roommates situation, and I'm really excited. I've missed Emily Henry's writing so much. I'm just so excited. It's been like 2 seconds since I started for you guys, but I got to page 51 and I just have to say, like right off the bat, I love our main characters. Like sometimes I feel like in romances it can get not 50-50 between both characters. Like I like the female main character more than the male main character. Like there's different traits and stuff obviously, but in this one I love both our main characters, Daphne and Miles. Daphne is just really relatable. Like she's a librarian, she loves books, and her past of what happened with her now ex-fiance and everything, the way she's like dealing with it, and I just really like her as a character. And then we have Miles, who we've recently met a little bit more, and he's given more banter, which obviously Emily Henry is just so good at. I just like the way he's kind of like easygoing and very witty, and I like the way she set up these two characters and their situation that's going on right now. I feel like in a lot of romances it's really easy off the bat having our two main characters feel something for each other, whether it's chemistry or just like at first sight you know that they're gonna be together. But in this one, they're both mourning a relationship with two people that are now in a relationship, so it's like they're going through the same thing together. I also forgot there was fake dating in this book, and I know I'm gonna eat it up. So far, as you can tell, so good. Just from like first impressions off the bat, I'm really enjoying it. Also found little tabs that like perfectly match the colors of the book. I don't know how I did that. I really love Miles as a character. I feel like he's very, I think I said this before, like, but he's very golden retriever vibe. He's very like chill, and I feel like with their dynamic going on, it works really well. The tension between the two has really picked up. I really am loving the roommates trope like a lot, having this forced proximity of being roommates but needing to stay platonic, going through the same unfortunate breakup together and being able to kind of work through it together on that, and trying to help each other not be sad over it, and also the fake dating that is now progressing. I just am really enjoying it. I feel like Emily Henry's books, at least like the last few ones I've read, or all of them except I feel like People Meet on Vacation, that was more of like the romance rom-com type, but the other ones I feel like were more fiction and had like these subplots of romance and like realistic stuff going on. This one I feel like it's like a little bit heavier on the romance, at least like the banter and the physical connection and stuff like that. I feel like it's definitely heavier, but it still has that like realistic feel to it with the characters. They're going through things that are realistic and have backstories and history and family life that gives depth to them, and I'm really enjoying it. I just love Emily Henry's writing, how she can really just suck you into her stories. Like, I don't really notice how much I'm reading until I look at the page number and I'm like, oh, I just can't stop reading. I just want to get back into it and I want to keep reading, and I'm really loving that both of them. I just feel like in some aspects some stuff is like relatable with the both of them. I just repeated myself from what I said before, but I've gotten more in. I'm about 170-ish pages in, and I'm just really liking their connection and their relationship that's happening right now. How they're connecting and hanging out, I feel like is very realistic. It's not like they're putting like pressure on anything, or like Emily Henry's not trying to write it like forcing into like this romance really quickly. Like, they're taking their time. It's definitely like not slow burn, but the timeline and the pacing of it is really nice. Also, if you're a quality time love language girly, you're gonna love Miles. If you haven't read this, that's one of my love languages, and he is quality time king, and I feel like we don't get a lot of that in these romance novels. We get a lot of like acts of service, which I love and I eat up, but quality time, Miles is the king of it. That BJ Magnolia want to come say hi, but leave me alone. That was scary. It keeps attacking me. I'm on this one part of the book that I think I know what's about to happen, and I'm really excited for it. I've been eating this up. Every time I put it down, I want to pick it back up. I want to continue reading. Something about Emily Henry's writing is just really refreshing, because the way that she combines romance with just like the fiction element, especially on our main character's point of view, just getting everything that she's going through while also going through a new connection with someone and meeting someone that she's connecting to and is like doing really nice things for her and with her, and helping her out and like showing that he kind of cares in a way. I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. I was kind of in a little bit of a slump. Like I said, I couldn't get into the rule book or any other books before this one. I was like, I'm just gonna wait for this book, and it's doing exactly what I thought it would. Like, I'm freshly out of my slump. I want to read this, I want to binge this. I'm trying to take my time, but that's just not really working out for me. I'm gonna be so sad when this book is over. I'm gonna miss reading Emily Henry books. I'm just gonna have to reread Happy Place and Beach Read. I'm gonna do my yearly beach reread, but I might have to throw in Happy Place into it because I'm just obsessed with her writing. I think I know what's about to happen and I'm excited. The little things he does proves that he's listening, he cares. I know I just said this, but these little things that he does, it really just proves it more. And I also love Daphne. I think she's very relatable, especially in the way she's feeling about all these different things and the way she responds to things feels relatable. And I love in Emily Henry books, when you can relate to the characters, it makes that story just like that much better. So I'm eating it up. This isn't even a sad part of the book. I think I'm just like having happy tears. I love them. Stop. That was so cute. I was thinking before too, I was like, I teared up a lot. I feel like during Happy Place, it was more of like an emotional one. And this one, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna like hit me the same way as Happy Place did, but just did. Stop. Why do I love him so much? Why do I love them? I love this book. Like I keep saying, Miles just really listens to her, but I feel like he's noticed so many things and he can like tell how she feels in different situations, and he knows how she's gonna react to things. Like he has noticed and remembered and listened so much that this one part he brings her somewhere, and just the way that she feels safe with him, it's such like a slow burn of realizing different feelings while also going through so much. It really hit me and I love him so much. I don't want to finish this book. I really don't. I'm so sad. I have less than 100 pages left. No. I just finished. Funny story. I'm like so upset that it's over. Okay, I don't remember the last time, or like what I was reading last time I was recording before finishing it. I was really commenting how much I loved Miles and like I loved them, the way that he like shows he cares and shows up and everything. And then we get further into the book and of course there's like situations, and especially in romances, where everything seems like it's going so well and then things start to unravel, and usually a third act breakup or a situation that happens where it kind of just like throws a hammer in the works. Is that the saying? I've never used that saying, but I've heard that saying. Things feel so good and then obviously something has to happen. Like we can't just have picture perfect moment and relationship and stuff, and that happened in this book. I really just didn't think there was a redemption for it. Like personally, just not that I didn't like what was happening, I just think for what was happening there, I didn't think there was gonna be a redemption. I didn't think I was going to like how it wraps up and what happens after that, the fact of what was going on. So that worried me. Then I kept reading and I was just really frustrated. But after like explanations and everything, usually in romances, I feel like after a third act breakup, I'm like annoyed. I'm like, they could have just communicated. They didn't have to do this. But this one was like, oh, I can understand why what happened, and I can understand why these people did what they did. Trying to be really vague about this. But while I was reading this one part, I was like, I just don't think this is going to be redemption. I think it's just gonna stay maybe a 4-star. Like I was really upset about it. But then I kept reading, and the way that she fixes things or like has things kind of mend throughout the ending. I really like the way she did that. I love the way that she wrapped up the story and kind of connected it through the whole book and through the beginning of the book. I loved the very end of it. Like, I'm obsessed with the way she ended it. I love her storytelling and her writing so much. The way you have these two characters in the beginning are such different people from the end of it, like seeing their growth throughout the whole thing, but not just together, but like individually. I feel like you learn so much about them and they learn so much about themselves within each other and like meeting each other and like hanging out and stuff. Especially Daphne. I guess since we're in her point of view, obviously we're gonna get more detail into her growing after this huge breakup. And it was hard because without her ex, she just like didn't know who she was. So it was really nice seeing the end of it, how she like could reflect on it and be who she was then. And I just really love the way that she wrote these characters because they feel like real characters. I feel like all of her characters just feel like such real characters because her stories aren't romance heavy. And I know this one kind of feels at some moments more romancy and other moments it doesn't. Like, she definitely has like a mix of it, but when the romance is happening, it's hitting so hard. And when it's not happening and it's just about Daphne and her life and what's going on with her family and relationships and everything, I just feel like it felt very realistic. And she has such a great mix, or Emily Henry has such a great mix of these two things. And also I love the friendships and those relationships she puts into books. It's like, if you can relate to it, it's very relatable, but also feels again really realistic of things that happen between friendships and learning through that. But I love her writing so much. It was just, I felt really different, the roommate situation and all of that, and it just, I didn't think I was gonna like tear up or anything. I didn't cry like I did for Happy Place. That one made me really emotional. This one, there were some parts that made me tear up a little bit, but overall I'm obsessed with this. I'm so sad that it's over. I wish I could like read it for the first time again, which shows me my rating on this. Also, I think I always know when my rating is this rating because if I see other people like saying things about it that they don't really love or they like aren't their favorites, and I like know that that didn't, not that it didn't bother me the same, but I don't feel the same. Like I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but like to me, I really enjoyed that. Shows that I found a 5-star. That I found a 5-star. I had a feeling this was gonna do that, but there was just something about it. I loved their banter, of course, so witty. I loved their relationship. I loved from start to finish. There was just so much that they went through together, not as like a couple, as two people going through the same breakup throughout this whole thing and where they ended up. I loved it so much, as you can see from all of my tabs, if you can even see these tabs. Really good. I wish Emily Henry could come out with a book every day. Like, if I could only read her the rest of my life, honestly I would. I'm obsessed. So with all that being said, definitely go read Funny Story or any of the new releases in this video that I read. I was gonna try to read the rule book, but I'm just really not in the mood for it. This was the perfect romance type of book that I needed. I want to force myself to read that one because I really want to enjoy it, because I really liked the cheat sheet and I like her writing. So I was gonna read it in this video, but I'm sorry that I'm not. It'll probably be in a video in the near future. I'm definitely gonna read it in a video. I said video way too many times. Thank you guys for coming along, reading these books with me, these new releases. Highly recommend every single one of them. They were all so good. We've had so many new releases recently, a few more that are still coming out, and it's just been so amazing. All my favorite authors are coming out with books, and it's been a lovely reading month. Thank you guys for coming along, for watching, and let me know if you've read any of these books, your thoughts, your opinions. I'm so sad that this is over. I want to read it again. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did, and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye!